What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Zack Snyder's new sci-fi epic, Rebel Moon. And we're going to be breaking down all the main characters of this project, releasing on Netflix on December 23rd. But before we do that, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member or joining us over on Patreon. We also have links to merchandise over on Teespring and on Amazon.com, and these are great ways to also support the channel. Having said that, let's start with our first character, Kora, played by Sofia Boutella. Kora was a young woman with a mysterious past and the protagonist of Rebel Moon. Kora has been living as a part of a farming community on Veld for 4 years, but she has a lethal set of skills and a mysterious past that quickly catches up to her after the Imperium arrives on Veld. They demand the farms turn over their crops to feed the Imperium soldiers. As a former member of the Imperium, Kora knows exactly what happens to the people who live in places where the organization arrives for exploitation. She wants the community to stand up and fight back against the government that has a clear intention of tearing their land apart. Kora knows how deadly the Imperium can be, so she departs in search of warriors who can aid her in defense of her new home. Due to the fact that she used to work for the Imperium before changing her mind and dedicating her life to protecting those who couldn't protect themselves. She has the destiny of the galaxy in her hands. Kai, played by Charlie Hunnam. Kai is a roguish pilot and smuggler with a ship that can go from planet to planet to help them find new warriors. Kai is a pilot who will do whatever he can to help Kora on her quest of saving her new home. Due to the steampunk nature of the world where Rebel Moon takes place in, it will be hard to find proper equipment for the combat or traveling, leaving the characters at the mercy of whatever scrap metal they can find hidden within their planet. Added to that, a hero who has left his glory days behind him will be needed to accomplish this mission, and Kora will need to do whatever it takes to convince him to join their quest. Jaimin Hongsu as General Titus. General Titus is the guy who knows his prime is already in the rearview mirror. However, Kora's mission and her will to change the fate of the people around her will be enough to convince him to join the battle once again, before it's too late and the Imperium creates a disaster on yet another helpless planet. Gunnar, played by Michael Huesman. Gunnar is a handsome but meek farmer who is another recruit of Kora's, but unlike the Rebel Moon cast of renegades, Gunnar is just a farmer, not a warrior. The character intimidated by Kai and the other warriors in the movie. Gunnar starts the movie as a simple farmer on Veld who decides to go with Kora on a mission to find warriors to defend against the Imperium. He's not fully aware of what he's getting himself into, but he's drawn to Kora and the mystery around her. Stas Nar as Tarek. Stas plays a shirtless hero who has a powerful connection with nature, which allows him to communicate with the immense creature known as a Benu. Tarek, also recruited by Kora, is a blacksmith in the Rebel Moon cast and has the ability to bond with animals and use them for combat. Donna Bay as Nemesis. Nemesis was a swordsmaster who was partially mechanical and eventually became a member of the Veld Resistance. She wielded 2 flaming swords, which were powered by the gauntlets that she held. The gauntlets were ancient artifacts from her homeworld. She cut off her arms and replaced them with robot arms as a part of a rite of passage to become a warrior on her homeworld. The arms allowed her to wield her molten metal blades. She later inhabited a mining world that was ruled by the Imperium, which extracted everything useful while leaving little to the planet's inhabitants. Nemesis was able to navigate the alleys and nooks and crannies, and she's been using these skills to protect the exploited workers of that world. Ray Fisher as Darren Bloodaxe. Ray Fisher plays Darren Bloodaxe in the Rebel Moon cast, a resistance fighter who joins Kora's war against Balisarius' reign of terror. The Bloodaxes fought against the Imperium on their own with limited resources in a spree of hit-and-run attacks under Darian's leadership. They messed with supply lines, but ultimately never had much of an effect on their foes due to the differences in scale between the two factions. When Kora came looking for recruits to defend Veld, Darian joined her team. Anthony Hopkins as Jimmy. Jimmy was one of several identical androids created to defend the King of the Galactic Empire. Centuries later, he was repurposed by the Imperium to do their heavy lifting and was brought to Veld when their forces demanded the moon's harvest. He was later befriended by Sam, a local from the planet who changed his outlook on his own existence. At one point, he found the corpse of a deer-like animal in the forest and took its antlers as a crown. Attakus Noble, played by Ed Serkis. Admiral Attakus Noble was a military leader within the Imperium, working for Regent Balisarius to expand their influence over the galaxy. A sociopath with unwavering loyalty to the Motherworld, he will do whatever it takes to accomplish his goals, however cruel they may be. Regent Balisarius, played by Frey Free. Regent Bellarius was a tyrant in charge of the interstellar armies of the Imperium. A series covering Belisarius' backstory has been planned, but it hasn't been officially announced.
Are you ready?
Jenna Malone as Harada. Harada is one of the most unique characters in Rebel Moon, as she's a spider warrior who's also recruited by Kora. Malone is known for playing in multiple roles in Zack Snyder movies, including Sucker Punch, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Rebel Moon marks her third collaboration with Zack Snyder, as her foray into the action started the psychological action thriller Sucker Punch. Well guys, that's going to do it for the character breakdowns of all the major characters in Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also consider becoming a member or joining us over on Patreon to help support the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.